Yo, RX back with another recap of UFC 304 Aspinall vs. Blades 2. We back with another recap of a card that was disappointing like always. Underwhelming, not good. It's a normal thing for 2024 UFC, especially pay-per-views. Unless it's 300 or International Fight Week, it's going to be shitty. It's fucking sad at this point. Like, pay-per-views are fucking pathetic. Fight nights are a bona fide waste of time. It's just a bunch of fucking garbage. The rare good fight surrounded by garbage and garbage and garbage, and it's getting tiring after a while, man. We deserve better. We watch this shit every fucking week for what? To be disappointed and annoyed because we're watching fucking garbage that's forced down our fucking throats for no reason. Give us some real fucking fights instead of this shit. Give us some real fighters instead of these cowards with no fucking guts to actually fight. It's getting fucking sickening, it's getting tiring, and it's just... This is one of the worst years in UFC history at this point. Like, this is the worst year I have fucking ever watched so far. Like, even the pandemic era was more enjoyable, because at least I get those cards sucking and those fights being asked because it was thrown together with whatever they had. Everything was being held together by fucking duct tape. Now, there's no fucking pandemic and you're still booking garbage. It's fucking pathetic. We deserve better. And as I recap this card, it's gonna prove my point. This was not a good card. 3 good fights or moments. A bunch of fucking decisions, most outside of maybe one with one-sided. Even that one, you can make a fucking debate for being one-sided. It was a terrible card, and we deserve better. The people watching at home, the people in the arena, the fighters deserve better. To an extent, like, the fighters who actually try. Let me make that clear. The fighters who actually try and to give us good fights deserve better. Because I feel like they're getting a bad rap because they're fucking in the same... They're on the same card as a bunch of garbage, so... But enough rambling, because I'm just fucking annoyed. I'm annoyed and tired. This shit's just annoying at this point. It's annoying. But enough rambling. Let's get into this recap. 13 fights to recap. 3 of them were good. Not a good ratio. Let's just get into this shit. 13 fights. Before I do, please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs go by the end of 2024. Thank you so fucking much for 60 subs to go into a fucking good thing. We hit 60. I said that as a fucking little, like, I mentioned that in the breakdown, like, it'd be pretty cool to hit 60, and we fucking did. Like, we did within like 24 hours of the breakdown, so thank you so fucking much. It means more than I could ever express. I don't even know how I could put that into words, how grateful I am. And thank each and every one of you fucking goats for watching, subscribing, and let's keep growing. Got a lot of time left in a year. Can we continue? Can we continue the climb? We've climbed pretty high up so far this year. I think we started at like 30, 40 something. Now we're up to 60. Fucking amazing. Let's continue growing. And thank you. Enough rambling. We're 4.5 minutes in, and we've not even talked about a fight yet. So let's get into this shit. 13 fights. Are you ready? I'm not. Let's do it. We, of course, start on the early prelims, and as always, we start with a shitty fight. As in our first fight of the night, we head to the straw weight division. for a pretty much waste of time, waste of 15 minutes, as we begin the night with Shauna Bannon versus Alice Ardelean. Yeah, it was terrible. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It sucked. It sucked, and I'm not even sure if they got the decision right. Round 1 and 2, I think Alice was the better fighter. I thought she looked better. I thought she won the first 2 rounds. I'm not really sure what the judges saw, because mainly Alice was, Elise, whatever, was on top, kind of controlling Shauna, and Shauna did not really land a lot of shots. Round 3, she woke up and easily took round 3, but outside that, too late in my opinion. And I had the same thing Ransom had, a 29-28 Ardelean. I thought she won the first 2 rounds kind of clearly. I thought that was kind of bad judging. I kind of knew she was gonna get robbed, but I expected a little bit better to begin the night from the judges and the fight in general, and it was terrible all around. So I'm not upset about the bad decision, because I got my pick perfect. So, and in a fight that was shitty and meaningless, I'm not upset. But yeah, I think Ardelean got robbed here. I thought she won this fight, and just a bad way to start the night. Bad juju to begin the night, and kind of carried over throughout the card. So yeah. This is the only fight I would call robbery on the card, at least I'll say that much, but the starting off with a shitty fight kind of sets things in motion. So just a bad way to start the night. Like, did I expect a fucking 5-year contender here? No. But I expected a little bit of something, and all we got was 2 low level fighters having a bona fide, what? Fucking, I don't even know what to call it. It's barely a fight. So, just a bad way to start the night, and just low level MMA, man. Low MMA at its finest. Not really much else to say. I'll talk about each fighter real quick, and about it. To talk about Shauna, now 1-1 in the UFC, really should be 0-2. She's a terrible fighter. Like, there's no reason to say anything else. She's a god-awful fighter. Like, she's terrible. She has no ground game. Her fucking fight IQ's horrendous. She's not good, and all she has are her like, round 3 of this fight showed, I think, what Shauna, like, I think round 3 of this fight showed Shauna at her best, and it was a very subpar kicker. All she did was do stupid fucking push kicks and shit to keep Ardelean away, and that's all she fucking did in round 3 to win that round. She's not good, and she should have lost this fight, to be honest, and she will lose any fight she has with anyone with any bit of talent. We saw that against Bruna, Brasil, who I'll talk about later. That was a complete mismatch and not even close. And then here with Shauna against a step down competition, she still didn't look good. So I don't get why the UFC signed her outside of this. She's terrible. She's truly terrible, and she should have not won this fight. So she sucks. I can't sugarcoat it. She's terrible. To talk about her opponent, Ardelean, I thought she was a better fighter here. To be honest, I was more impressed with her than I was Shauna, and I was not impressed with really either. I just saw Alice just fought a better fight. I thought she looked better and was a little bit better. I thought she won the first 2 rounds, and I think she kind of got robbed here. So I just kind of feel bad for her to an extent. She stepped in on short notice as a giant underdog and got robbed. She looked like the better fighter when she was stepping in on super short notice. and she still lost. Bad judging, but what do you expect? So, yeah, I do feel bad for her a little bit. She's not a good fighter either, don't get me wrong. She's fucking terrible. She's still better than Shauna, in my opinion. Hell, she should have won this fight, so... I don't know. She's not good, but she was the better fighter here, so... I do feel bad for her a little bit, so... Not very much else to say. Besides, who should they fight next? Not a fucking chance of getting a fight idea out of me right now. Maybe tomorrow when I do the tweet and all that, maybe I'll give Shauna a fight idea. But right now, late in the night, tired as shit, I'm not talking about a Shauna Bannon fight idea. No. No. She'd probably lose it anyway. Any fight I give her, she'll probably lose, so... yeah. No. Not very much else to say. Terrible fight to begin the night, and somehow even worse because of the bad judging. So, I expected a little bit better, and I got somehow even worse. So, not very much else to say. Bad fight to begin the night. These two are both terrible, and yeah, probably a robbery. After that, we have to our second fight of the night in the heavyweight division. I would say the third best fight of the night, because at least we had a cool finish. Something we don't get anymore in the UFC. So, I fucking hold this in high regard. Probably, again, the third best fight of the night. As in our second fight of the night in the heavyweight division, we had Mick Parkin versus Łukasz Brzeski. Yeah, this was impressive. This was cool. Good fight. Quick fight. Not much to say. They did some striking. And then halfway through the round, Parkin landed I believe it's a right hand that hurt Brzeski. And then he swarmed him, knocked him down, and knocked him out. Quick first round finish for Mick Parkin, and kind of the first time he's looked impressive in the UFC, so good for him, man. My lock hit early, which I'm happy about. I have a good record with locks this year, and this is just adding to the total, so thank you, Mick Parkin. And, yeah, quick, easy performance. Got a nice KO, something I wish we'd got more of on this card. The first of only 5 finishes, and I'm not counting knockouts, and I'm counting all finishes. 5. It was a 14 fight card. You kind of see the issue of this card. But, yeah, this was one of the best fights on the card. Because it was a finish at least, and Parkin was one of the few fighters on the card who actually showed up wanting to fight. So, respect to him for going out there and getting a finish when I thought he would get a pretty boring 30-27. And, yeah, he looked great. I'll talk about Parkin first, obviously. He looked great. Like, just the best he has ever looked, even better than the Contender Series, probably. This dude looked improved. He looked better. He looked hungry. Like, compared to his first 3 UFC fights, he looked like a different fighter. Like, this ain't a guy that looked pretty mid versus Mo Usman and Jamal Pogues. This ain't the dude who a lot of people think lost to Kyle Machado. This dude came out and looked fucking great against Łukasz Brzeski. Yeah, who's a terrible fighter, but still, he looked really good. Again, the best he has ever looked, and good for him, man. In London, second time fighting there. The first time was the Pogues fight last year. He showed up and showed out, so good for him. Great way to fucking begin the night for the Brits and that camp with Aspinall. And Parkin looked great. Again, the best he's ever looked. Showed power for the first time in the UFC. And got his first finish in 2 years since the Contender Series, so good for him, man. Good for him. He's young. He's only 28 years old, 10-0. This dude can make a little bit of noise at heavyweight. Not a lot, because A, heavyweight sucks, and B, I'm still not 100% sold on him, but nice win here. Pretty nice win here. And then talk about Łukasz Brzeski. I'm not gonna say much. This dude's terrible. This dude's fucking awful. He has no chin. He's not good. He's just a waste of space on a roster. To be honest, and they mentioned this in the fucking when he's walking out. This dude should not be a heavyweight. He could easily be a light heavyweight. He's not. I think I might even brought this up in the breakdown. He's not a fat dude. He's probably the slimmest heavyweight on the roster. He just has a little bit of weight on him. He could easily cut to 30 pounds and go to light heavyweight. Because he's like easily one of the lightest, if not the lightest heavyweight on the roster. I'd only like usually weighing in about, what's he weighing at for this fight? 235? Yeah, you're telling me he couldn't cut those 30 pounds and go to 205? Like, yeah, he's gonna lose anyway, but still. So, he's just fucking not good. And fighting up a weight class where he's always the smaller dude is not smart, so. He's a terrible fighter, and if he got cut, I wouldn't be shocked. Because that is 1-5 in his last, 1-4 in his last 5. So, never know. I don't care. He's just not good. And now for our first fight ideas of the video, let's give Mick Parkin a fight idea, and you can give him you could actually give him a pretty decent fight. You can give him a rankings fight if you want, but let me look at what we got. He deserves a decent fight though, step up in competition, because he's been fighting like the bottom of the barrel dudes in the division, so I think he deserves a pretty decent fight now. Who? I'm not sure. Justin Tafa wouldn't be too bad, to be honest. I think that could be kind of exciting. Martin Boudet, Waldo. I think Waldo, you can give him a better fight. Romanov, I don't hate that. Romanov or Nascimento. I don't. Are they still ranked? I don't even remember at this point. Yeah, I think DeLima has a fight, so. I swear I saw something about DeLima actually having a fight booked, so. Yeah, there's a couple options. Nascimento, Romanov, Boudet, Justin Tafa. I think any of those work. I don't mind the Tafa fight. I think that could be kind of exciting. But again, I think you can give him Nascimento or Romanov, so. Yeah, I think any of them work. I really do, so. Let's see what they do with fucking Mick Parkin. I'm leaning Alexander Romanov. I think that's a decent fight. Nascimento can fight maybe Martin Boudet or some shit, or the winner maybe Carl Williams if he beats Denise, whatever. Or actually no, he should fight Waldo Cortez Acosta. Yeah, you should do this fight, and then DeLima. I don't know who DeLima fights. Like, I don't even know who he could be booked against since the whole heavyweight division is such a clusterfuck. So maybe DeLima's fighting a Boudet or some shit, I don't know. But I don't mind Mick Parkin versus Romanov. I think that fight kind of works, and I'm down to see it. So, yeah, I think I might lean that fight. Nascimento or Romanov works, I'm down to see either, so. Yeah. Not really much else to say about this fight. Good win for Parkin, the best he has ever looked, and he helped my lock. He was my lock and he won, so thank you. Only thing left to say now is who should I fight next. I like Mick Parkin versus, I'm leaning Romanov, but again, Nascimento's not the worst option in the world. Either one works, and I'm not against either, so, yeah. Not very much else to say. Parkin probably deserves a ranking fight, and let's see if he gets it. So, let's see if he can join Tommy in the rankings. About all I gotta say about one of 2 heavyweight fights on the card. After that, we had 2 welterweight for the first time tonight for a pretty whatever fight. It wasn't long, and I won't talk about it for that long. As in our third fight of the night, in the welterweight division, we had Sam Patterson versus Kiefer Crosbie. Not really much to say. Pretty much one. I guarantee you, I'm guessing a lot of people predicted it. I predicted a finish. I did change my pick to a second round submission. But yeah, I think that was kind of a obvious finish after actually really thinking about this fight. Not really much happened. They did a little bit of striking. Eventually they got in the clinch. Peterson took him down, locked in an arm triangle choke with really no fucking effort or defense by Crosbie, and he subbed him in under 3 minutes. Unless I'm forgetting something, which I don't think I am, that's about all that happened. So, yeah, pretty quick, easy fight. Pretty simple. I'll talk about Sam Patterson first. Good win for the kid. Really finding his stride now in the UFC. Now 2-0 at welterweight. He found his weight class. He even said this in his post-fight interview. He found his weight class now. Lightweight was not for him. Like, yes, I know he's fighting the lowest of the low at welterweight, but at least he's winning and looking better. Like, he did not look good at lightweight. Contender Series, he didn't look good. Of course, against Arnold, he almost fucking died. So, he looked better. He's looking better at welterweight. He's looking healthier. He's looking bigger. And he's just looking better. So, he's found his weight class, as simple as that. And if he can stay here and improve as a fighter, he could do some good work. He's 28 years old, 12-2-1, not a bad record. Still young. See what the giraffe can do at welterweight. He's not the worst. He's not the worst, but he's not even close to the best. He's like a D+, C- fighter in the division. He's never going to beat anyone great. Like, even unranked wise, he's never gonna beat, let's just, like a Max Griffin or a fucking Euros Medic, but he could beat shitty guys like Court McGee in 2024, or as you see, Kiefer Crosbie, so, yeah. Not really much else to say about Sam. Good win, now 2 in a row. And then talk about Kiefer Crosbie. This guy's terrible. Not sure why he got signed. Like, I do know why. Same reason as Shauna Bannon, but yeah, he's not good. This is the second time he's been submitted in the UFC, and for some reason this dude just does not block submissions. Against Kevin Jusay, he let himself get rear naked choked. Against Sam Patterson, he let himself get arm triangles. Yeah, like, this dude does not know what he's doing on the ground. Like, I'm not shocked because he goes to SBG, who has no fucking talent at fight when it comes to fighters or fucking judge or cornering. But yeah, the Crosby's terrible. He probably should be cut. If he's not cut, feed him to a young guy one more time. If he is cut, good riddance. He's fucking terrible, and he's the worst Irish fighter on the card, and that says a lot when you're on the same card as Shauna Bannon and Callan Longrain, whatever. So, yeah, Crosby's terrible. Cut him or feed him to someone. Can't really say much. Dude's fucking awful. Not very much else to say. No fight idea because I don't care right now. So, just gonna say, good win for Sam. Kid's looking a lot better at welterweight. Found his weight class. I'll give him his flowers there. And not very much else to say. Good win for Sam. Cut Kiefer Crosbie. Giraffes now 2-0. After that, we get to our fourth fight of the night in the light heavyweight division. Yes, this got moved down to the early prelims, as another fight got moved up to the prelims. Yeah, on paper, it was a good move. Not in hindsight, this was the better fight than what it got moved for. As in our fourth fight of the night in the light heavyweight division, we had Modestas, Bukauskas versus Marcin at Prachnio. If this card had a fight of the night, good chance this would probably have been it. This was probably the best overall fight of the night. Really good fight. Let me scroll down here. It was like I said, it was a pretty fun fight in round one. Pretty close round. Bukauskas, I think, stole the round late when he hurt Prachnio, if I remember. Or maybe he dropped him, I don't remember completely, but I do remember something along those lines. No, yeah, he rocked him. Late in the round, he rocked him. In a close round, that definitely steals it. And then in round 2, they start off pretty hot. Bukauskas drops Prachnio, gets him up against the fence. Prachnio throws a head kick that hurts Bukauskas. Really crazy. Then the round kind of slows down. Bukauskas kind of starts losing the round, but he did get a knockdown, so he should have won round 2. And then in round 3, Prachnio comes out on fire, needing a finish. He hurts Bukauskas right off the bat, but then he shoots a takedown. Bukauskas reverses him, locks in an arm triangle choke, and wins. Yeah, shockingly a good fight between two terrible, terrible, terrible fighters. So, yeah, I'm not gonna complain. Two cans can make a good fight. Good for them. Yeah, again, if there was a fight of the night on this card, this would probably be my pick. It was fun. A few really fun moments, but no fight of the night for you. But you tried. You had a decent fight, and I'll give you your fucking props there. So, yeah. To talk about each fighter real quick, for Bukauskas, nice win. Now he's 500 in the UFC. Not a good fighter, but 3-1 since his comeback. Good for him. Yes, against the lowest of the low of the division, but this light heavyweight, not many fighters are actually good. So, yeah, good win for him. And not really sure what else to say. He'll probably lose his next fight to someone good, but that's what he's good for. He can beat shitty fighters, and he'll lose to good ones. That's what he's best at. And for Marcin Prachnio, not much to say. Always been a terrible fighter. Will never not be a terrible fighter. Yeah, he's terrible. Why he shot a takedown when he had Bukauskas really hurt and needing a finish beats me. But yeah, he's a terrible fighter. At 36 years old, now 2-3 in his last 5. Never know what might happen. He could get cut. He might stay. Who knows? If they cut him, I'd be very happy. If they don't, whatever. He's terrible. Never been good. Like, he has 4 wins in the UFC, and like, complete fluke, garbage. One of the worst fights of all time, and this guy's a lot worse than we saw it. So he's a terrible fighter. Can't say much else. Not very much else to say. No fire ideas, cause come on. Yeah, not a good fight. On paper, shockingly a great fight in execution. And yeah, again, if these two would have got a 5 of the night bonus, I would not be too shocked. Or upset, I should say. They deserved it more than anyone else on the card. But no luck. But still, thank you for one of the few highlights of this pretty garbage card. So, and the last highlight of the card for a long time. So, good fight, boys. You both suck, but 2 bad fighters make a good fight, I guess. So, not very much else to say. And to end the early prelims, we head to welterweight again for a pretty decent fight, and a fight that I told y'all about. I predicted perfectly, shockingly. As in our featured early prelim at welterweight, we had Oban, Elliott versus Preston, Parsons. Not a bad fight. Was it amazing? No. Was it terrible? Not really. It was one of the fights ever. On this card, it ranks in about the mid-tier. It was not the worst fight on a card by any means, but it was not it was not an amazing fight, so it happened. It was decent, and Let's talk about it. Round pretty much from pillar to post for 15 minutes. Oban just smashed Parsons. On the feet, he was better. On the ground, he was better. He's just the better fighter for 15 minutes. Fresher, better, more active. Just a complete performance from Oban Elliott. The best he has ever looked in the hardest fight of his career on paper. He showed up and showed out. Same thing with Mick Parkin. Like, he, in a tough fight where he was the underdog for some reason, he showed up and fucking showed he's legit. He's a decent fighter and he's getting better. So, to do to 30-27, a guy like Preston Parsons, who is not a world beater, but he's not terrible. Pretty impressive, man. Good shit, Oban. And I kind of called this fight. I fell on Twitter. I said Oban was one of my dog picks, and I've kind of said Parsons is not the kind of guy to fraud check Oban, and I was right. He's just not the fraud checking type. Preston Parsons is a perfectly fine fighter, but he's not gonna come out here and fraud check a dude. No, that's not in his bag, and we saw that here. So, and hell, 2 people on Twitter said they bet on Oban because of me, and it cashed. So, I don't say this a lot, but maybe I should. I never say bet on my picks. Do that at your own risk, at your own reward. I'm happy that it worked this time, but trust me, it won't always work. I don't guarantee anything. I never will. Bet on my picks at your own risk. But seeing that shit, hearing that my pick helped 2 people win money, warms my fucking heart. So that kind of made my day to an extent. That was fucking amazing, and I'm very happy about that. So thank you, Oban. But, yeah, not very much else to say. Let's talk about Oban and Parsons real quick. Well, again, this was the best Oban we've ever seen. Complete night and day performance from the Contender Series in his debut. He just looked like a complete fighter here. He didn't gas. His striking looked good. His cardio looked great. His grappling looked great. He stopped pretty much every takedown outside of like one really late in the fight. Like, this was a completely different guy than we saw against Val Woodburn or a guy we saw in his UFC debut. Like, this was the best Oban Elliott we have ever seen, and he's getting better. Like, he's young and he's getting better. So he's gonna get better he's gonna get better than this performance, and that's interesting to think about, because this was already an amazing performance. He's gonna get better than this. I'm excited to see that. Like, the dude's only 26 years old. He's a great prospect in the division that's full of great prospects like Renat, Morales, Battle, etc. And I think Oban's right in that fucking mix at this point. Kid has all the talent. He's very fucking... He's good. He's good, and he showed that here. This wasn't a fucking squeak by win like Val Woodburn or Khalik Brito. This was a domination from bell to bell, and again, the best Oban Elliott we have ever seen. If we can see this Oban Elliott more often, who knows how far he can go. And then for Preston Parsons, again, he's gonna win some, he's gonna lose some. He's not the fraud checking type, and he'll probably win his next fight. To be honest, I'll probably give him a veteran he should beat, or he can beat, and he probably will. He's not a bad enough fighter to go on like a losing streak and get cut, I don't think. But he's a dude who's never gonna rack up like a 6-fight winning streak. I think if you're lucky, he can have 2, maybe 3 in a row. And that's about it. He's never gonna be a great fighter. He's never gonna be a fucking world beater. He's a perfectly average fighter who is gonna be a good test for young guys and could beat some older fighters. So, he looked fine in this fight, but he was definitely just not the better fighter. So, simple as that. And the only thing I have to say now is who should they fight next for Oban Elliott. I don't know if I'm gonna find a fight idea. I'm not gonna waste a lot of time looking. If I don't see anything that jumps out to me right away, I'm not really gonna fucking push the matter. I saw someone on Instagram say Alex Morono. I don't hate that fight. I think that's a very intriguing fight. I don't know if I love it, but I don't hate it. Angelosa ain't terrible. I think that's an interesting fight in itself. Trey Waters would be an interesting fight. Tim Means ain't terrible. Mike Malott. Ooh, I don't hate Mike Malott. Mike Malott and Oban Elliott, man, I don't hate that. That's actually not fucking terrible, to be honest. Yeah, fuck it. I'm not going to spend much more time looking. For right now, I'll say Oban Elliott versus Mike Malott. I like that. I kind of like that fight. I think that's pretty intriguing. Proper versus the Welsh Gangster. Let's see it, man. I think that'd be a fucking really interesting fight. Oban should win that pretty easily. Let's see it. Not very much else to say. Great performance by Oban Elliott as an underdog for some reason. And, who should they fight next? Like Oban Elliott versus Mike Malott at the moment. Sounds like a good fight to me. Let's book it. Great performance by Oban to end the featured prelims. So those were the early prelims, my bad. Were they great? No. Parkin was a good fight, Bukauskas was good, Oban was decent, trash, and forgettable. So, not very much to say. The early prelims happened, about all I can say. And now let's get to the prelims. Oh boy. And we start with maybe the most controversial fight in the card, and I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this shit, 'cause they don't deserve the time it would take to talk about this. As in our first fight of the actual prelims, we had Mokaev versus Manel Kape. Not going to waste a lot of time on this. Did we all see the videos of them fucking trying to fight at the weigh-ins and this and that and the other thing? Good, because they did not do any of that at all. They both fought like complete cowards and barely had a fight at all. So, complete fabricated bullshit beef that was just pathetic to watch. So, fuck them both. They're both garbage. And, yeah. One of the best parts is, you all know who Mokaev is gonna be fighting next? Who's ever in PFL? 'Cause that motherfucker got cut. Dana said at his fucking Dana in his post fight after the card fucking was asked about Mokaev, and he said that motherfucker can go do good in PFL. Literally word for word, he said PFL. You know he's serious. So Mokaev is gone. His contract ended, and that motherfucker is out of here. As he deserves to be. He sucks. He's not a good fighter. He's boring as shit. No one wants to watch him cuddle someone for 15 minutes. The dude cannot fight. He can cuddle, man, but no one wants to watch that garbage, so fuck him. Manel Kape's a joke, who cares? Terrible fight. These two are pure pathetic excuses for fighters. And I'm happy Mokaev got cut. That's what he deserves. Go enjoy fighting tomato cans in PFL, you bitch. No. After that, we head to our co-main of the prelims with a fight that was fucking hilarious to watch, to be honest. As in our co-main of the prelims, we head back to women's strawweight for a fight between Bruna, Brasil versus Molly McCann. Oh, pure fucking comedy. Molly the Can is back, doing what she does best. Lose. Not very much to say. For 15 minutes, Bruna beat the shit out of Molly. In round 1, she almost finished her like twice with body shots. Could easily be a 10-8 round. In round 2, she dominated. In round 3, it was the closest round of the fight. You could give that to McCann if you want. I say clear 30-27 Bruna. Domination. Just fucking domination. Bruna did exactly what she had to do. Fight at range and win. That's what she did. She just fought at range and picked Molly apart. Destroyed her body and legs and beat her up. So, exactly what I said she would do if she won this fight. Molly needed to get on the inside and try and fight her, and she had no luck there. So, yeah, great win for Bruna Brasil in the biggest and best performance of her career. So, not very much I would say about the fight. Let's talk about Bruna. What a performance as a giant underdog in enemy territory, biggest fight of her career against a tough veteran like Molly McCann. Not a good veteran, but a tough one. She looked amazing. Again, the best she has looked since the Contender Series. She looked amazing, showing why she was hyped up off the Contender Series. Fucking, her kicks are amazing, her cardio's good, her grappling's great. Something about that fighting nerds gym, bro, is fucking weird. I don't know what they feed their fucking fighters in that gym, but they just make them amazing. Kyle Borrelio, that Roofy dude, fucking Gene Silva, Bruna Brasil. There's someone else I'm even forgetting that's really good. Like, I don't know what they feed those fuckers in that gym, but they are just all coming out amazing. And Bruna Brasil coming into enemy territory and dominating Molly McCann like that. What a win. What a win. What a performance. Fought the perfect fight if you're going to beat Molly McCann. And looked great. Like I said, like I said in the breakdown, if she was going to win this fight, it would be fighting at range and all that shit. And she did that. So, good for her, man. Looked really fucking good in a domination win. There we go. I still said it wrong, but in a dominating win for Bruna Brasil. And then to talk about Molly. She's Molly, bro. She's never been good, and she will never be good. She's pathetic. She's fucking pathetic. I don't know what to say. She's a pathetic excuse for a fighter. Like, I get she's exciting. Trust me, I get it. I get it. That's the only fucking selling point to Molly. What I don't like is when they hype her up for no fucking reason and give her layups that she loses. Like, how many layups has she lost in the UFC now? Fucking 1, not Talia. 1, 2, 3, and Bruna's not a layup, but it was meant to be. So she's now choked 3 fights she was meant to win. Like, she's not talented. She has no fucking talent. She's a crazy fighter. That's it. She's not good. And if you look at her wins lately, she hasn't beat, like, in the UFC, she's beat no one good. Cachoeiras, terrible. Lipski, not very good. Belbita twice, terrible. Ji-Yeon Kim, terrible. Carolina, terrible. Goldie, come on. Molly McCann's a joke, and she better fucking bow down to Patty for being the only reason she's still in the UFC, because without him, she probably would have been cut by now. And she probably should be cut. She's terrible. She can't fucking actually fight. She just throws wild shots and fucking usually misses. So, I don't know. I just don't know. I thought maybe the strawweight move down would maybe be a little bit better for her. And nope. Different weight class, same shitty Molly. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't. Only thing left to say now is who should they fight next for Bruna Brasil. Give her a decent fight. She fucking earned it. She is 30-27 to Molly in fucking England. Give Bruna a good fight, man. I'm not saying a ranking. I'm not saying a ranking fight. Molly would have got one, but you know, fucking different standards. Give Bruna a decent fight, man. Who Mizuki, maybe? I don't think that's a terrible fight. I forgot she fought Hannah Goldie for a second. Eduarda is moving up. I think Corey McKenna has a fight booked. Pierre Rodrigues, that's a step down. Cornelosi's a step down. Maybe Jessica Panay. I don't hate that fight. Polyana, fucking step down, to be honest. Denise, she already fought. Already fought Luma, KK, Pinheiro, Jillian, blah. Yeah, I don't hate Jessica Panay. I think that's a decent fight. To really, all these other fights just seem like a step down for Bruna. Like, outside Mizuki, like, McKenna, step down. Pierre, a step down. Cornelosi, a step down. Polyana Viana, a step down. She's already fought everyone else. So, yeah, I guess Jessica Panay. Or, like, it's Panay or Mizuki. I'm not really sure who else she would fight. So, yeah, I'm gonna say Jessica Panay at the moment. I'm not sure who else Jessica Panay could even fight. Like, I think she fought Polyana in the past, so you really can't do that fight. And if not, why do that fight in general? Denise, you could give Denise a better fight than that. No point for Panay to fight either of these two clowns. McKenna, no. Again, maybe Mizuki. That might work a lot better the more I think about it. So, Mizuki or Panay is a good fight for Bruna. Well, we'll see what they do for her, man. She deserves a good fight. She deserves a good fight. And Mizuki is a decent fighter. So, we'll see what happens. Man, her only losses in UFC are Jandaroba and Lamo shots. That's actually fucking hilarious. So, yeah, not really much else to say for Bruna. Great fucking win. Looked phenomenal. Embarrassing the hometown fave. And who should she fight next? I like her versus either Jessica Panay or Mizuki. Both are fights she deserves. A step up from Molly. And let's see how far Bruna can go. That Fighting Nerds gym is fucking special, man. And let's see how far they can go, like I said. Or how far she can go with them. So, yeah. Not very much else to say. Great win for Bruna Brasil. And let's see what's next for her. Can she build on this? Let's see. And then to end the prelims, we have a fight that was kind of frustrating, to be honest. Like, I was kind of frustrated with this fight because it's like just shitty fight IQ. As in our featured prelim, we head back to featherweight for a fight. Or the first time at featherweight? Yeah, for our first time at featherweight on the card, my bad. As in our featured prelim, we have Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda. Was this fight as predictable as we thought it would be? Yes. Was it still extremely frustrating with how Wood fought? Yes. The long charge, Nathaniel Wood beat the shit out of Pineda for 2 rounds. In round 1, he beat him up a little. It wasn't a bad beating, but he did beat him up and clearly take the round. In round 2 is when it gets annoying, because he hurt Pineda bad. He fucked up his eye, destroyed him, dropped him like 2 or 3 times. Should've got a finish. But his dumbass drops him and then goes into his fucking guard for no reason. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? He could have easily got a finish at the end of the round, and instead he's fucking in Pineda's guard, doing nothing. It's like, dude, like, I picked you to win by knockout. You should have got the knockout, but instead you're laying in his guard, and then, in round 3, he gets fucking annihilated on the ground and just held down for 5 minutes. It's like, what? Like, is Nathaniel Wood really not as good as we thought he was? Because this was just a weird, stupid performance. He should have got a finish. His fight IQ looked terrible. His ground game somehow got worse in round 3. Like, I don't get what to say about this fight. He was super disappointing in a fight where he was the biggest favorite on the card, and he looked like he didn't live up to the minus 450, minus 500 price tag at all. Like, he clearly won, But, like, dude, you should've got a finish. Why did you fight in the most passive-aggressive, pussy way possible? It's like, come on, dude. Like, you should be finishing a 38-year-old, year and a half off Daniel Pineda. Especially when you fuck up his eye and have him hurt bad. But no, you fucking lay in his guard for 3 minutes. Like, fucking stupid, man. But I guess a win is a win. Too bad that win fucking was terrible. Of how boring and stupid it was. Well, that doesn't prove the point. Fighters don't go for the kill anymore. They're just so fucking scared to actually fight. They're just fucking fine with laying their way to a decision. It's fucking annoying. Get up and fight. Get a finish, you fucking pussy. Whatever. I've pretty much said all I had to say about Wood. A super disappointing, annoying performance. Should have looked better. Just looked stupid. And then for Pineda, 38 years old, gonna be 39 in a month. He's not good. Like, we all know this. He's not good. And if they cut him, cool. If they don't, cool. I don't care. Only thing left to say now is who should they fight next for Nathaniel Wood. With how bad this performance was, he might not get as big of a fight as you think he would get. Like, he might be fighting more of a fucking Jack Shore, Charles Jourdain. Well, he already fought Jourdain, my bad, but like a Jack Shore, Pat Sabatini, Juicy J type fighter, so. Who could he fight? I don't mind. Him and Jack Shore would be interesting, but I doubt they would actually do that fight. I don't mind him and Cub Swanson, but I don't know if they do that fight either. Him and Juicy J would be cool, I guess. I'm so tired of making fights at fucking 145. Like, it's just a giant clusterfuck. I don't know. I truly don't know. I'll probably have a fight idea from tomorrow, but it's just a giant, like, 45 is a clusterfuck. So, again, maybe I'll have something better tomorrow. I don't know. It's not like he deserves a fight idea anyway for how shit this performance was. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. Not much to say to end the prelims. Shitty fight, shit fight IQ, and I expected better. Shaking my head. Well, those were the prelims. They were awful. Outside of Parkin, Bukauskas, Elliott, and Brasil, they were terrible. Literally a terrible prelims. To move on to the main card, was it much better? Debatable. So, let's just get right into it. Why waste time? Let's get this done. As we head into our first fight of the main card, staying in the featherweight division, as we have a pretty forgettable fight. As kind of expected, I told you this was going to go to the decision no matter what, and it clearly did. As in our main card opener, we had a very whatever fight between Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. Well, that weird feeling I had about Giga winning was clearly just a giant L feeling, because, yeah, he didn't win. At all, actually. In round one he did. He looked good in round one, clearly taking it around. He hurt Allen really late and with a nice shot. And then it all fell apart. For the next 2 rounds, Allen just walked him down and bullied him and won a easy 29-28. After round 1, Allen just walked him down and looked like Giga had no idea what to do. He looked lost and he just ran away for fucking 10 minutes. It's super annoying. But that's Giga. He's not, if you fucking crowd him, he's not really that great. So, yeah, all Allen did was just walk him down, and Giga happily ran away for 10 minutes. It was super annoying. But, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Giga thought he took round 1, he could just chill for the next 10 minutes. Not how it works, bruh. Not how it works. But I'll give Arnold Allen his flowers. He fought the perfect fight against Giga. Walk him down, give him no space to throw kicks, and he did a great job of that. So, yeah, good job, Arnold Allen. Not really much else to say about the fight, so let's talk about the fighters. For Arnold Allen, finally back in the win column. Looked good. He looked good. Do I want to call Arnold Allen a gatekeeper at this point? He's, I think, close to it, because let's be honest, he's never winning the belt. He's never going to get in a title shot. He's a good fighter, but let's be honest, is he on the same tier as Elliott? No. Max, we saw that. No. Volk? No. Like, he's a fine fighter. He's a really talented, almost gatekeeper. Like, if you can't beat Arnold Allen, you're not going to win the belt. Which is not a bad thing if you can't beat Arnold Allen, but you're not winning the belt. But if you can beat Arnold Allen, you have a good chance of getting that belt. Ask this guy and this guy. You know, this guy ain't getting the belt. So, good job to Arnold Allen, man. Back in the win column in a big way. Still young, only 30. And he looked great here. So, he looked really good. Good way to get back in the win column. And then for Giga, I think Giga's hit his ceiling now. Like, I think we know where he's going to sit in the UFC at this point. I think we see it. He'll be a top 10 to 15 dude for another few years, but when he starts in 37, 38, he'll start fucking fading out. He just does not have the skill to be a top fighter. He has talent. He has good kicks. His cardio sucks, to be honest. His striking's not great. We really didn't get to see him on the ground this fight from what I remember, so just not good. He's really just not that great compared to other guys in the division, especially with 145 being one of the more talented divisions. And if you really look at the rankings, is he even really the 10th best fighter in the weight class? Lerone Murphy's better. Jago Lopez is better. Danny Ige might be better. Barboza lost to him, but who knows how many times they fight and that same outcome happens. And then, is everyone above him better than him? Probably. So, he's just not really that talented. He's not really that great outside of his kicks. If he can't use his kicks, he's lost. His hands are not really that great. His cardio kind of sucks. He's very easily flustered and beaten, so he's just shown to not really be a top dude in the division, so that looks like Giga hit his ceiling. Only thing really left to say now is who should they fight next for Arnold Allen. I think it's probably a pretty obvious fight. Do him and Yair. Like, everyone booked around him. Everyone is booked around him outside Josh Emmett, who you could do Allen and Emmett. I think that'd be a pretty neat fight. But I think Allen Yair is the obvious fight. You do Allen Yair and Emmett can fight Lerone Murphy. It just makes a lot of sense. Or, to be honest, actually I might like Allen Emmett more and Yair can fight Murphy. I don't mind either one, but I might like that a little more. But does Murphy deserve a top fight like that? Yeah, should Allen skyrocket back into the top 5 so easily? I don't know. You could do Emmett Allen or Allen Yair. Either one, you can't go wrong. Then Lerone Murphy fights the other guy. So, yeah, really either work very well. Yeah, you could do Allen Yair probably. I think that's a better fight. That could be a cool maybe fight night main event, or even a co-main would probably be cooler. Or even a cool like second fight on a pay-per-view. So yeah, Allen Yair, just an obvious fight to do, to be honest. Makes the most sense. It'd be a good fight, and to be honest, I might pick Allen in that fight. So yeah, why not? Let's get that booked, man. I wish that was on the fucking sphere. That shitty card actually needs a good fight outside of the main event, which does not have a Mexican fighter, but that's for a different talk. That's for a different time. Yeah, not really much else to say about this fight. Who does Giga fight next? Do you care? Bryce Mitchell. They're kind of in the same boat of they were hyped up. They're not anymore. So, no, who cares? Good performance by Arnold Allen, and who should he fight next? Allen Yair is just the obvious fight to make. Again, like, why would you not do that fight? So, yeah. But also, if they did Allen Emmett, I'm not upset. So, either one, you can't go wrong. And, yeah, not really much else to say. Good one for Arnold Allen, and okay way to start the main card, was not very great. And after that, we head to our second fight of the main card in the middleweight division. A fight that kind of went as I predicted, and also at the same time it didn't. As in our second fight of the night of the main card, we have Gregory Rodrigues versus Christian Leroy Duncan. Yeah, this fight was one-sided. RoboCop just beat up Duncan for 15 minutes. He beat him on the feet, he beat him on the ground, he bloodied him up, and he beat him. Like, that's the long and short of it. It's just a pure domination from RoboCop for 15 minutes. Like, not really surprising. COD was not ready for a fight like this, and like, I think the best way to describe this fight is it's what Bobby Green said about Grant Dawson. The kid has not been in a fight yet. And this was CLD's first fight. And he got fucking destroyed. He got exposed. He's just not that good. CLD just does not have a really strong chance against these higher level dudes in the division. Like RoboCop. I'm trying to think who's around that, how does he do against a Jung Park, a fucking, Bo Nickel, Sharp Bullet. That'd actually be an interesting fight. Even though Sharp Bullet's garbage. But, a Bruno Ferreira, how does he really do against these guys who are not fucking pushover cans like Dennis Tululi and Claudio Ribeiro? So, yeah, great fucking performance by RoboCop to just show this kid has not been in a fight yet. COD was not ready to see his own blood and get fucking beat up, so he held in there for 15 minutes. I'll give the kid props, he's tough, but he's not ready for a fight like this, and we saw that point and center for 15 minutes, so yeah. Talk about RoboCop first. This dude's good, man. He's getting more well-rounded. He showed wrestling here. His chin looked good as it held up pretty nicely. Yeah, he's looking good. He's looking really fucking good. 3 in a row now. He definitely deserves a high echelon fight, if not even a ranking fight. And, yeah. He's only 33 years old, I believe. 32. He's still pretty young. Still has a lot of time left. See how far he can go in this division. It's a pretty wide open division. See what RoboCop can do, man. He's good. He's good. He's getting better. He's good and he's getting better, which is crazy. And then, like I said about COD, kid's just not that good. Like, he's gonna beat up some cans, but every time he fights a real fighter, he's gonna lose. Why do you think they're trying to give him Robert Brychek? Because that's an easy fucking win. Because that's a can. RoboCop, he was not ready for a dude like RoboCop. So, he's just not that guy. COD is not that guy. He's never going to be that guy. And we saw that 2 years ago when he lost to Petrosian. Or a year ago, my bad. He's just not good enough. He's not terrible. again, he can beat the worst of the worst, but outside of that, he's just not good enough. So, simple as that. Only thing we'll talk about now is who should they fight next. For RoboCop, he probably deserves a ranking fight. I don't know who else he could even fight outside the rankings. Like, I think anyone outside the rankings, I think, is just disrespectful at this point. Then what are you gonna make him fight fucking Joe Pyfer for no reason? Like, I think that's stupid. Dude's won 3 in a row, just came in on short notice and destroyed COD. Give him a real fight. Who? Probably Chris Curtis. I think that's the fight he should have had after his last fight, and I think that fight still stands fine today. Outside of that, I'm not really sure. Roman Dolidze maybe, but that's not really an amazing fight. Plus, probably Kyle will fight Dolidze, so yeah, I think probably Chris Curtis makes the most sense. That or Joe Pyfer, but I don't know why RoboCop would fight Pyfer. Like I said, I think that's just a slap in the face to RoboCop to have to fight a unranked dude who's not that good. So yeah, let's see RoboCop and Chris Curtis. I really don't know, like, no one else in the no other unranked fighters in the division deserve that ranking fight with Curtis. Like, Pyfer, no. Muniz, no. Fucking, if Bruno Fiera beats Kopylov, you can make a case, but he hasn't beat him yet. So let's do RoboCop and Chris Curtis. Makes the most sense. Would be a good fight. Let's get that booked. And then for COD, go back to beating cans. Simple as that. Go back to beating cans in the Apex. So yeah. Not really much else to say. Good win for RoboCop. Looked great. Well-rounded. Pure domination for 15 minutes. And who should he fight next? I like Gregory Rodrigues versus Chris Curtis. Makes sense. Would be a good fight. He earned it. Let's book it. Curtis and RoboCop. Sounds good to me. Just like a RoboCop win. Always sounds good. Just like the one we got here. Great performance. And decent fight. One of the better decisions on the card. Finally, after 7 decisions in a row, I'm not joking, literally 7 decisions in a row, we finally got a finish. And then our third fight of the main card, we head to lightweight for a shocker, to be honest, and hell, I was wrong. I'll hold my hand up and say I was wrong. As in our third fight of the main card, the co-main event of the evening, we had Patty, the Batty, Pimplet versus King Green. Bobby, what were you doing? Like, why? Why? There's not really much to recap for the first 3 minutes of the fight. They pretty much just traded leg kicks. I think they both landed maybe one punch, like actual punch. Mainly it was just body kicks, and mainly leg kicks, a couple body kicks. I would say Bobby was winning on the feet. He landed the better kicks, but for some reason, after a while, he shot in for a takedown, a shitty takedown at that, got completely sprawled, and then Patty jumped a guillotine. They hit the ground. Eventually, Patty switched it to an arm triangle and put Bobby to sleep. Very, very fucking impressive. And just shitty fight IQ from Bobby Green. I have no idea what the fuck he was thinking. He gave his neck up and lost himself this fight because he shot a takedown for no reason against the way bigger and better grappler. I'm just not sure what he was doing. But yeah, where do I begin with this? Patty Pimplet is in the top 15. Let that sink in. Patty Pimplet is a top 15 ranked fighter. Fuck. I said if the kid proved me wrong, I'd give him his flowers. I'll give him his flowers. He proved me wrong. he looked good. He pulled off the upset, and he legitimately won. He beat Bobby Green. He put him to sleep. The most impressive performance of Paddy's career. He looked great. He looked great. Got a nice win. Got that top 15 ranking, and he's legit. Hardest fight of his career, biggest fight of his career, a fight he should have lost. He won, man. Good for him. He's legit. The guy has gotten better as a fighter, and now he's in the top 15 again. Unbelievable, to be honest. Just kind of unbelievable. Not really sure what else I could say. I'm kind of. That's the first time I really thought about Paddy Pimblett's in the top 15. That's insane to think about. And it's all thanks to this guy and his shitty fight IQ. I don't know. Bobby Green is Bobby Green. Like, it's funny. I watched the Grant Dawson fight earlier, and DC kind of said it best. He can never get over the hump. And this was a big hump for him, and he couldn't get over it. Like, I don't know what he was doing. Why would you shoot a takedown on a really good grappler who's way better than you on the ground, who's dry, and you were doing good on the feet? I just don't really get what the fuck Bobby was thinking, but whatever he was thinking clearly was not the right thing, because he got his ass submitted. So he's still an OG of the game. I'm still always excited to see Bobby Green fight, but yeah, just shitty fight IQ. Not like that's ever been a strong suit of his to begin with. Look at how he fucking fights, but just shitty fucking fight IQ, man. I don't get it. And now, the only thing left to say is, who should they fight next? For Paddy Pimblett? Fiziev or Dariush? I know he called out Moicano. Let's see him fight Dariush. I think that makes the most sense. Fiziev, they don't want to kill the kid. I know he called out Moicano. Maybe he steps in if, let's say, BSD or Moicano pulls out of their fight. I think the easiest fight and the easiest and most realistic fights for Dariush. I think RDA is a welterweight now. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's off the table. Jalen Turner kills Paddy. BSD, no. He's booked. No dice. Come on. I think Dariush makes the most sense. It's the most realistic, winnable fight for Paddy. Let's be honest, do you really think he beats Jalen Turner? Probably not. Do you think he beats Rafael Fiziev? No. Does he beat any of these three? Maybe Moicano? Hooker? Maybe? BSD kills him, so. And then he might beat RDA now. That's a kind of a close debate, so. Yeah, I think Dariush makes the most sense. So, it's the most winnable fight for Paddy. So let's see it. Alright, sure, what else to say? And then for Bobby Green, let's see who they have him fight in the ranks of the unranked territory, I guess. So, I feel bad for Bobby to an extent, but he lost the fight himself. He shouldn't have shot a fucking takedown for no reason, so I feel bad for him to an extent, but then I remember he lost himself this fight, so yeah. Not very much else to say, man. Good one for Paddy. Kid proved he's legit, now in the top 15, and who should he fight next? I think Beneil Dariush, most realistic, winnable fight for him. Every other fight, who with unranked guy, the most winnable fight he has, who's not booked in the rankings. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. Because Rafael Fiziev would kill him, Jalen Turner would kill him, and RDA, I don't know what weight class he even fights at anymore. So the only other thing I can see him doing is stepping in if Turner or BSD pull out, but A, I don't know if you do that to begin with, and B, that's not going to happen, so yeah. Have Paddy fight Dariush, Fiziev can fight Turner, and let's see what happens there. I'm not lying to you. I would pick Patty to beat Dariush. I think he's better. And like I said, if the UFC sees what I see there, that's probably gonna be his fight we get. So let's do it. Paddy Pimblett versus Beneil Dariush. Think about saying that out loud a year ago. Think about saying Paddy Pimblett's a top 15 ranked fucking fighter. MMA is crazy, man. But the kid earned it. I'll give him his flowers. The kid earned it. And now, time for the main event of the evening. I told y'all. Not like I need to fucking tell y'all what was gonna happen. This was common sense. In our main event of the evening for the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the world, we had to end UFC 304. Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes. And we saw what would have happened without the knee injury 2 years ago. Shocker. I'm so shocked we saw what would happen if he didn't get injured. Like we all knew what would happen. And like we already knew what would have happened. So, yeah. Do I really need to say what happened? Aspinall KO'd him in a minute. Landed a perfect counter jab. Sent Blaydes to the canvas. Ground and pound. It was over. I saw a couple people say it was an early stoppage. How? Blaydes rolled over onto his chest, went completely belly down, and quit. How long do you want to watch? How long do you want the ref to let a fight go until he stops it? It was like 20 unanswered shots. So I'm not really sure what y'all want. He like all that would have happened. He would have kept eating punches and got put out. So it was over. It was over. So Tom Aspinall, and still the champ, still the best heavyweight in the world by a mile, and I don't know what to say. This guy is so good, it's scary. Like, this guy is so fucking good, it's scary. He might go down as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time if he keeps this shit up. He probably is already up in that. If heavyweight's not a hard division to become one of the best at, and you can already make a case for him to be pretty high on that league. He'd be top 15, dude. He's one of the best heavyweights we've ever fucking seen. Skill-wise, he might be the greatest heavyweight we've ever fucking seen. He can do everything. He can strike. He can wrestle. The only thing we've not seen him do is go into deep waters into a fight, but you don't fucking have to when you have the death touch. If you touch your opponent and they go down, what the fuck? What do you want him to fucking tell him to get up so he can go into round 2? That's stupid. If he does not need to fight deep into the fight, why would he? So, does he have a good gas tank? We might never know. But as of right now, what we do know is he is the best heavyweight in the world. And as much as we will clown on John Jones for ducking him, we see why he is. John Jones is scared of losing. He knows he has no fucking chance. Like, Aspinall knocks out John Jones in round 1 easily. A 2024 John Jones has no chance versus Tom Aspinall. The Jones we saw against Gane, the Jones we saw against Reyes, has no chance. 6 years ago, yeah, Jones wins. No chance now, and that's why he's going to continue to duck him. He will not fight Tom Aspinall because he knows that pretend undefeated record will go up in smoke. So, more than likely, Aspinall will fight the winner of Gane Volkov because he's a fighting champion and he won't wait 3 years to fight John Jones, if that fight even has any chance of actually happening. So, yeah. And then for Curtis Blaydes, sorry bro, you're never going to be a champion. You're not good enough to be a champion, and you're just not a good fighter. You can wrestle. Good job. Here's a fucking golf clap. He's a good fucking he's a good highlight reel maker. Like, Curtis Blaydes is good for getting knocked out and becoming a highlight. That's about it. So, yeah. You choked your first title fight ever and you got beat in a minute. Good job. But, yeah, not very much else to say. Do I gotta give you a fight idea? We all know the fight, but this dickhead's gonna keep ducking. If John Jones had any balls, he would say, fuck Stipe. Give me the actual fucking guy to fight. This is a bigger fight. This is the fight everyone wants to see. But he's scared. He has no balls and he's scared shitless. So, more than likely, Aspinall will fight the winner of Gone Volkov. Because he's not going to wait 6 years to fight John Jones in a fight that's probably never going to happen. So, trust me, I hope I'm wrong. In a perfect world, John Jones grows a fucking pair and says, fuck Stipe, go do something else, you old fuck. I'm fighting Tom Aspinall in November. But he does not have the balls to do that because he knows he loses. So, fuck him. But, yeah, not very much else to say about this fight. Good way to end the night. Best heavyweight in the world. And still. And, boom. That's the card. To go over how I did on picks, I went 9 of 13 for perfect 590. Yeah. Bobby Green, not very much to say. Fucking Patty proved me wrong. Giga was a bad pick. Molly is Molly, and no comment. So, yeah, great win for Tom. Great win for Tommy to end the night. And yeah, I called a couple good picks. Like I called Oban. Not about it. Nah, I did call Gregory Rodrigues also. So, yeah, not very much else to say. The bonuses were Tom Aspinall, Paddy Pimplin, Mick Parkin. I completely agree. Was there a 5 of the night? Not really. Does anyone else deserve a bonus? No. So, and if you, as always in the recaps, the last thing to say is if you missed the card, what would I say you should go back and rewatch? I would say Parkin, Paddy, and Aspinall. There's not very much else to rewatch. No. No. Not really. I guess if you want. Fuck no. Well, actually, yeah, rewatch the Bruna Brazil fight. That was entertaining. No. Maybe. If you want. And then yes and yes. So pretty much Parkin, Aspinall, and Paddy for sure. Rodrigues, Bruna, Oban, and Bukauskas if you want. Everything else skip. It's just not a good card. 5 finishes and 9 decisions. Great card, guys. Great fucking card. We deserve better. We deserve better than 5 finishes and 14 fights. That's pathetic. That's actually pathetic. Like, I'm happy Dana's pissed off. He fucking cut Mokaev. He's saying he's never gonna boost up the fucking bonuses again. The fighters don't deserve it. The fighters don't deserve the fucking bonus raise when they're not going to fight like they want it. If the fighters are not going to fight to the bonus upgrade, then why do it? It's a waste of fucking time and money. Earn that shit, motherfuckers. And no one on this card outside of 3 guys earned that bonus. No one fought like they wanted it. No one fucking earned it outside of 3 dudes. So, until fighters can start actually fighting instead of fucking hugging and cuddling every fight, and B, show they actually want the bonus and to actually want finishes, fuck them. Yeah, you don't get paid, you don't fucking deserve it. But they're putting their life on the line. Are they? You're telling me fucking, you're fucking telling me, fucking Shauna Bannon put her life on the line. You tell me these 2 dickheads put their life on the line? Get fucking real. Get fucking real. These fighters are fucking all outside of Tommy, Paddy, and Mick Parkin. These fighters on this card. Gregory Rodrigues was cool also. They're cowards. Bruna Brazil, like, people like Rodrigues and Bruna kind of get a pass because at least they try to get finishes, but people like Shauna, Bannon, Mokaev, Manel, Kape, Hadley, Wood, they're cowards. They don't want finishes. They don't want bonuses. They just want the win. No one remembers your win if it's boring as shit. Sorry, but it's true. You don't fucking deserve the extra money. You gotta earn that shit. And you motherfuckers have not earned it. We deserve better from the UFC. We deserve better from the fighters. And we deserve better than this garbage. So, that's the last of my ranting I'll do. So, yeah, the next time you hear me rant is Friday 1 p.m. EST for a breakdown of UFC Abu Dhabi, I believe, which is Sanhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. That card's actually decent. You got Tony Ferguson on it. You got Mackenzie Dern, Lupe Godinez. You got fucking no Nick Diaz, sadly. You got Cheeto and Figgy. Couple good fights on the prelims. It's a fine card. So, for fight night, it's really good. So, we'll see what happens there. Hopefully that card does not suck as bad as this one, but with the main event being boring as shit, probably will. And, yeah, not very much else to say. You'll hear me break that down Friday, as always. You'll hear me recap that Sunday, as always. And unless I'm forgetting something, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of the year. Again, thank you so much for 60 subscribers. And, as always, RX out. We deserve better. Good vibes, only and always.